In this video, I will demonstrate how to use categories and permissions to give a user access to specific sections of a station. In this station, we have a zoning system, and that includes three controllers: Zone AHU, Zone 1 PCV, and Zone 2 PCV. Now, each controller has a graphic, and we want to give access to the graphic for each controllers, along with the points list, the point extension manager, the totalizations, the alarms, and the histories. Now, on each one of the graphics for the controllers, there's a home page button. It brings you to the Johnson Controls home page. So we want to give access to the new user of that home page and allow those links to work. Additionally, our station includes some custom control. And we want to give access to our user for that custom control page so they can modify it or change it. Also, we have a schedule for our zoning, and we want to be able to change that schedule, so our user needs to have access to the schedule so they can make modifications on the schedule. Now, to do this, we will go under Services and select the category service. Under the category manager, I will add a new category, and I'll name that zoning. Now that we have the zoning category added, we can switch to the category browser. And you can see that the zoning is now a column in the category browser. To the left, we have three groups: config, files, and history. And if we expand the config, you can see that we have services, drivers, Facility Explorer, and My Servlet. Now, under services, if we expand the services button, we have an alarm service. And I simply want to go and check the zoning category. Now notice I have the inherent buttons, the boxes are checked, and the operate boxes are also selected. So I'm going to add the console, the JCI alarm class, and the default alarm class to my zoning. And then I'm going to go and select and give those to the operate category. Next, the history service. I'll need to add the history service, and that is done simply by selecting it in the zoning box. And then last is the FX service. The point extension manager is part of our FX service, so I need to give access to our zoning category for the FX service. Now, there are our services. I can now expand the drivers. Under the drivers, if I open up the BACnet, I can see my three controllers. And again, the inherent button is checked, and the view box is grayed out. However, when I select the zoning for the three controllers, it will deselect the inherent So I'll need to recheck the view category. Now I have my 3 controllers added to the new user, and I can go under the Facility Explorer. Under the Facility Explorer, I have Custom Control. And here's where I have my Custom Control. And I'm going to go ahead and add that to zoning and come back and add it to the Modify category. Also, there's a link folder. Under the link folder is our schedules. And I need to give the zoning schedule to that user and then select the operate box. So the operate user will also have that capability. Now my link folders are completed and I can switch to my files. Now under the files I have to give access to my user for the different graphics that they'll be using. So under graphics, I'll need to select all the different graphics that will be used with those controllers. And down here at the bottom, you can see I have both HX graphics and full-size graphics for all. So I'll simply come over and select each box and then go ahead and add it back to the Modify category. As I pull up the list, this 2 points PX is a link to our totalization page. So I'll need to select that. As I keep going up, I'll run into the main building. Now this is the main graphic for our HX graphics, so I'll add that. Then I'll need the HX homepage and the full-size homepage. And last is our Bringle building graphic. This is our Johnson Controls building, which is the default for our main graphic. And I'll add that. Yours will be different, but I'll add that so I can use that in my view. So when I click on the main graphic, it'll show the Bringle building. Now those are the graphics I need to add. However, under the PX, all the objects that are included on the graphics are listed. And we need access to those if we want the ductwork or the terminal units to show up on the Johnson Controls graphic. So I'm going to go ahead and add all those to the zoning category. And then also include them in the Modify category. That should allow our graphics to show up properly. And then we can open up the history. And our station name is Demo. So I'll select the demo box and then go ahead and add the zoning add them to the zoning category, and I'll also add all those to the view category. Next, let's go to the user service, save that, and add a new user. Now this user I'll put as myself, and I'll have a password. Of course, the password's now in Niagara 3.8 have to be 10 characters long. And up here on permissions, I'll select this box and give myself access to the zoning system only, both as operator and an administrator. Now I'll do File Save All. Now I will disconnect from the station and then reconnect using my new password and username. And let's take a look at what we see with the zoning category. First, we can see the config. Under services, we have the alarm service, the history service, and the FX service. Under drivers, we have the BACnet network and those 3 controllers. And under Facility Explorer, we have the custom control and the link folder for the schedule. Now let's look at the zone control. Here's our zone control. We can go under the points list, and here are all our points. Our point extension manager, totalizations, our alarm panel, and then our history service with full access to our histories. Then we can go to our link page. You see the Bringle building jumped up. Our links work. There's our zone control 1. Let's look at our zone control 2. Here is our custom control logic. And here is our zoning schedule. This has been a demonstration of how to use categories, permissions, and new users to create custom views with custom access on different features in a station.